Hallelujah, 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 give hallelujah, the highest praise, hallelujah, give him the highest praise, hallelujah, give me the highest praise. In the morning when I wake up, in the night when I wake up, I will lift up my voice to heaven and give you the highest praise. Hallelujah to my King. Hallelujah to my Father. Hallelujah to my Jesus. I bow before the throne. When I look at all the wonder and I see all the creation, the beauty of the universe, you never, never change. You never, never lie. You never, never change. You never, never fail. Hallelujah to my Jesus. Hallelujah. 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 Hey, hey. Hallelujah. Hey. Give it. Hallelujah. Hey. The highest praise. Hallelujah. Give him the highest praise. Hallelujah. Give him the highest praise. Hey, hey. I'm not afraid, Jehovah. I'm not worship, Jehovah. It is of the first.
Good evening and welcome. This is the Liberia Public Radio, all things considered. And we're going to consider them here tonight, right here, right now.
I will press this name. I'm here to press my God because he came to life. Come celebrate, come jubilate, come and worship him. He deserves the praise. Hallelujah, give him the higher praise. Hallelujah, give him the higher praise. Hallelujah, give him, hallelujah, the highest praise. Hallelujah, give him the highest praise. Hallelujah, give him the highest praise. Ooh, hallelujah, oh, yeah, hallelujah. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah to my Jesus. Hey, hallelujah. Sing praises to Jehovah. Lift up your hands and worship. Lift up your voice and pray. Hallelujah. I lift up my life for Jesus. I will worship you, Yahweh, Yahweh.
Yes, we're going to lay out life for Jesus. That's Minister Joseph Bass and Cape Praise from the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. This is all things considered. We're going to have a fascinating conversation here this evening. Hold tight, share the video to invite someone at your company. We want to welcome our own Mike Downs in Liberia. All right, so let's have this conversation here. The evening is already fast spent. Let's see here what we can do here. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. Thank you for sharing your beautiful Friday evening. TGIF, thank God it's Friday. Even though hell is breaking loose in the political discourse in Liberia. And we hear what should be our concerns, what we should doubt about the future of the country. This is a minimal and critical point going to be a conversation here this evening. A true confession is about to take place right here, right now, on LPR. They called me in behind the camera today, and I told him, you need to come out here and say it. Let them hear it strictly from the house's mouth. And I'm going to see what he's going to stick to that agreement or something gonna they're gonna twist the wheel. Thank God he was recorded. He knows that. Right here in the USA, where our calls are monitored and recorded for quality purposes. So we're going to have the conversation here. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. I'm Alfonso Z and so of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Let's get the ball rolling. Okay, let's get the ball rolling here. Welcome, wherever you are in Liberia, in the USA, on planet Earth, welcome. True Confessions is about to unfold. The political talking point, turmoil within the opposition CPP. Oh my goodness. I feel bad for my country. Political hypocrites, sycophant, grave seeker. These are the people that are posing danger to the country, and there's a need that will call them out. And I'm waiting to see my own liberal progressive here this evening. There was a true confession this afternoon. Time and everything we recorded is right here on tape. And I want to challenge him to see if he's going to pivot 360-degree here this evening. For the group that he associated, he told me behind the scene that he regrets associating with the CPP because he claimed to be a member of the Liberty Party USA, which doesn't hold a drip of water to me. Joseph Boyka, a former sitting vice president of the Republic of Liberia, is unable to contain people that support him. Benina Yuri is unable to manage or contain people that support him. Nyombli Kanga Lawrence, who is an affiliate of my own liberal progressive Samson Brown Toll, who is about to make a true confession. In fact, by the way, he told me he's going to denounce his membership. Let's see what they're going to survive here this evening. Is unable. Alexander Benedict Cummings. They are all in that basket of deplorable. And I've said this from time to time. These people, they are not compatible. They do not have vision. There was no technical meeting. This is why we're seeing hell is breaking loose right now. These people should not be close to state offices in Liberia because they seems to be dangerous right now as we speak. They are all in desperation as compared as the very CDC. So there's no difference. Lack of political tolerance. They are babies. They're still wearing diaper. They're still sucking bottle. And they want to get close to state office. Let's get a ball rolling. Stay tuned. It's going to be a crazy night here because I'm feeling so bad of my country, of people being so irresponsible, and they want to get close to state offices. These people are trying, if we get them, if some of them go in this building that is behind me, they will militarize that country. Let's get a ball rolling. Okay, let me bring in the Liberal Progressive Samson Brown Toll of the Liberty Party USA as he claimed to be the Liberal.
Yes, Mr. So, good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, you're rubbing your hair because you are feeling very sad deep within, seeing what is unfolding within the rank and file.
As a human being,
Hell is breaking loose. What the heck is going on?
Yes, I am feeling sad because my brothers, those who are supposed to be our defenders, those who are supposed to be people who are talking, advocating for us, are now seem to be fighting for them among themselves. That's something that is very disheartening. But let me tell you this, Mr. So, I am not leaving the opposition. I am staying with them. I'm going nowhere. I regret some of the stuff that is happening right now, but then again, I'm going nowhere. And so, the Dr. Baka is our man. I'm not changing my mind on that as well. But let me just say this here, Mr. So. Let me just say this here. It's very sad. It's very sad that to see people of what I consider to be good character and would take a political issue and try to make it personal. This is unacceptable, because these are people that some of us are counting on to help lead the country, because obviously the CDC government is going to be dislodged. There's no question asked. But to see these people going at it like this here, and then when CDC come out and say these people are novel, then how do we dispute that? However, Mr. So, I am so happy and glad that these things are coming out at this time. The conflict, whatever you want to characterize it, is coming out at this time. We got about a year or so to go. They can't fight in a whole year. They have a choice. They have a choice. If they still
And
continue,
interestingly, it's good they are unveiling themselves,
the
because we have
is
said
on the
this
floor.
in the we have said this from time to time.
Why will you try now? Why will you try now to interject while I'm speaking as a liberal progressive? These are some of the things you conservatives continue to do, and that's why CDC is not going nowhere. But let me finish this. I'll come back to you. I'll address you. But here's my point, Mr. So. They will not be able to, this the conflict or whatever you call it, they cannot sustain it for 1 year. Either they have a choice. They have to stay and work together, or they split apart. And they can't continue with this kinds of war in 1 year. There's one document.
You are unable to give.
Will be resolved.
Now you are lack of words. Now whoa is nothing like a war.
Mr. So,
you do not want to give.
I'm speaking Crown to you. I'm speaking Crown, not English.
Can you give a perfect description of what is happening? My audience, they are eager to know. You told me behind the camera, and you try to put a war face. You try to pretend that all is well with you, which I know all is not well. This is why you asked me to proxy your affair. I'm sitting down here out of a goodwill, because I want to talk about my country. I'm going to play. I don't usually do this, but when people are behaving or acting like a babies, and they think they are politicians are mature, seasoned, tolerant people. I'm going to play some of the rare meat coming from in the opposition. And so it creeps my body. Fear is already in me, because these people, from what I see, we have to be very careful. However, fair to mention, from now to 2023, there's a little bit time there. But I'm still doubt, and I've said this from time to time, these people, they are just incompatible. They came out hurriedly with the pretense to fix something, but there were a lot of things unsettled. Let's play some of the soundbite, and we're going to have a discussion. We don't usually do that here, but it is important. It is about the sovereign nation, and we have to be very mindful. This is how Donald Trump came to in this country here. He was never really checked. He got away with conspiracy theory. It is this same strategy, this breakbite Newsmax strategy now, is what is factoring in the politics of Liberia. Let's listen to some of these things here.
You get the hardcore evidence that he is nothing but a sleazy criminal who pretends and masquerades as a decent person. Then you say to yourself, praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Here is the evidence that he's nothing but a damn criminal. That is what it is. This is not propaganda. This is fact. Ladies and gentlemen, where do I begin? Where do I even start? Do you notice the feeling of vindication? The feeling of vindication, where you've said this person is not what you think he is. Oh, he's a nice guy, he's a this, he's that. The feeling of vindication, and finally you get vindicated. The person does something that is so clear, so indefensible, so inexcusable, so blatant, so bad, so criminal, that it just speaks for itself. That is exactly what this is. We're 1,500 people. I ain't even start talking yet. 1,500 people. Keep taking it up. Keep taking it up. Keep taking it up. Woo!
Addiction, right there. Let's go to the other side. The other guy, he resides in this house. He's been off camera for quite a while, but he's back. As usual, he's back. I disagree with him on a lot of Thai stuff, but sometimes his expressions, the way he puts his points, his grievances out there, they are misinterpreted. Let's see here, because they've been having that infight.
In my phone, somebody sent me from the COP chat room, the toll costa, lot of leaders toll costa that's yet right to resign. Do not discuss him. He said he would discuss me. And he sent me in the chat. Costa, let me ask you one question. What happened January 6th in the protest? When you went and collected money, you were brave. If I get coming to go when you stood up with a sorrowful way with you, only you and your bodyguards. I went there before you saw protest. You think I looked at you. How many times did I resign? Mr. Empty Head, Mr. Criminal, Mr. Blackmailer, Mr. Rule Costa. Costa, you myself, who was criminal? I have resigned from COP one time. Check your records, Mr. Dumb-headed man and Obon. You think we don't know Obon gave you money to come and support the CPE? You think I don't know that? You took money from Dr. Cassette. Why in the COP? Why in the CPE? You say your institutions are business institutions. Anybody that give you money to promote them. Are you credible? You look at them, Musa Belete, and you call it. You know what Belete, who more criminal than I didn't know about me. I'm credible to you. I agree. You say I'm crazy. Because I took the protest things and brought it here to my boss. Where you can carry it. Like the president decided to take the things here because we wanted to push the interests of the Liberian people. You think I'm going to follow stupid men like you? Costa, check my records and check your records. Did I say I told you any money that comes in the budget I will take it?
Power greed, struggle. I am the guy. I am the king of the time. I am the only one people listen to. I have all of the power, the dominion is within. When I speak, no one speak. And others said, no, this is what power struggle does. It creates a frictions and everybody tries to get over the edge. This is ridiculous. It is insane. It is not a surprising one. I know it. I knew it. I forecast this. I saw this coming. They never had a conversation. They didn't meet as a political party to sort out the differences. We are talking about multiple documents out there now on the time wing of the CPP framework. Other people say something is being fingered and all of that. This is a complete disgrace to the political discourse in Liberia for people who tries to position themselves as alternative to what is happening in Liberia. In as much, George, we are at a CDC-led government. It's a disaster. They do not have the same way there was no strategic plan. I've said this. Something told has been in denial. And you guys, here we are. You can't continue your folks. Everybody become like a wild geese. They are behaving like a renegade soldier. It reminds me when General Smith died during the civil crisis. What happens when the soldier commander dies during crisis? The soldiers goes renegade. No commander. They're not going to take instructions. Everyone is fighting for his of his life. That's exactly what is happening in CPP. And you will have all of your political leaders, they all zip their mouths, they are quiet, they are muted. Are these people, they can't manage this little organization? In fact, I would term it as a social club. That when people cannot respect, that's the problem we have today. And I know you are strong, you are appalled, and you have all reason because you know deep down within your heart, we are speaking truth to the power and we want our country to be resurrected. If these people can't even listen to their political leaders, I'm not going to listen to anybody. I would want to do what I can do. You know that we don't do that here on LPR. So why people who are seeking state power cannot, for God's sake, they can't allow the process to play out. They can't listen to their leaders to become, they want to be like a loose cannon. Samson talk. Why are you guys behaving like this to us?
Are you done with your talking point for the night, Mr. So? Because your talking point does not move me at all. It didn't shake me at all. The liberal is here and I'm going nowhere. Now you spoke for almost 10 minutes. I didn't interrupt. And so I hope the courtesy will be paid to me as well. Now,
It's
Mr. So,
contagion, Samson. Why
Mr.
you
So,
going?
I didn't interrupt. Now, here we go. Here we go, folks. If you're listening, this is what he does. That's a conservative view. He and Ted Cruz, then they all hanging together. I'm surprised the CDC fiasco lobby. I'm surprised I haven't seen Mr. So picture on that yet. But I'm looking. However, Mr. So, with all of your talking point, this is what I got to say to you. You know, those of us are from the countryside, and I am from the countryside. Back home, when young people in a town, they start fighting. Every day they want to fight. They fight. People say, "Don't fight." He wants to fight. People, let me face myself because the handsome Mr. Toe is on here tonight. So he wants to fight. So what do? The old people, they go and take banana leaf and put it on the ground and then put water on it. They say you fight until there's water that is on this banana leaf dry. And at the time by the time the banana leaf is dry, one of them will give up. I'm surprised. I'm very happy that the two political leaders, or all three of them, in fact, have not been involved. Honorable Comey, you know, he was on your show when I asked him a question. He said that's one of the regrets he has of not being able to continue his folks as well. Now, the idea of having the surrogate of these giants and honorable people, and soon to be the president and the vice president of the Republic of Liberia, according to me. We are coming to deliver Liberia from the hands of those inept behavior. We are coming to deliver your country, Mr. So. Please, don't get yourself too wrapped up because we are right next door to you. We're here to save you. Now, Mr. So, let me push this a little bit further. The idea of having these people coming up and having the conflict or whatever you want to call it, that's fine with me. I am glad that these things are happening now. Because if CDC and the inept government of CDC believe that they're going to have a free pass, they're
You can't even manage. You need to
I'm
contain
not
your
done yet,
own
Mr.
house.
I'm not done yet. You spoke for almost 5 minutes, berailing my political party, trashing my political party, and believing that we're going to let you as get away with this here tonight. This is not why the liberal is here. So please give me the opportunity. The point I'm making is this. CDC, you heard Manu about Manu begging for membership of CDC, begging for membership of CDC members to come back. Mr. So, please, begging for members to come back to CDC because they are living in droves because of CDC misbehavior, CDC corrupt behavior, CDC unable to govern. Now you have the government in waiting, and you want to come here because the little children are fighting among themselves, and you think this is how they're gonna scam? And yet,
Oh, here we
we
go.
are the governing waiting, and we will succeed.
Are they little children? Here you go. You have put your foot in your throat again this evening. Children, we want to trust our country with children.
Do you see any of them? Do you see any of these people that are having these conflicts? Do you see any of them in any kind of position to lead? No, Dr. Bakai, the most experienced of all, Dr. Bakai, and Honorable Cummings, the man who held Coca-Cola for a long time. He has the experience. He knows how to lead. And these are people that are going to deliver the
Don't
country.
pretend you are not a friend of Cummings. I'm surprised, and I shouldn't even be surprised. You always ridiculous when you come here. You want children, people who they are babysitting, who still sucking needles and cereal, how do you call it, cereal or whatever. What's the name of it? I remember those days in Liberia. Those are the people you want. You want them to, we should trust them with our country. And is so soon they are talking like this. Look, Liberia, give me a break. You talk, I didn't talk. I listen to you. You make your case, even though deep down within your heart, You have been burnt within deeply, and I understand that because we have this conversation. All right, maybe that you'll be calling you. And up to this time, your black eye, they can't even say.
Dr.
Do people,
Baka,
do people
please,
have
Dr. Baka, not just Baka, any Baka. This is Dr. Baka, former Vice President of the Republic of Liberia. Please give us that.
look? I'm more or less after functioned. This title here, they don't mean a damn thing because it is the same title that we've been with them, and they don't do anything for our country. Look, something. If CDC does it wrong, we come here, we call them out as it is. We point that out. But you guys, inability to chastise one of your own, it is absurd. It is concerning. It is dangerous for our country because when these people, when they get around Capitol building or police station or public corporation, we will never contain them. They are not exhibiting anything of maturity.
Mr. I'm very surprised. I'm
You
very
should, of
surprised. I
course,
am very surprised
because my
of you,
country is
a
being
seasoned journalist, someone who is more of a journalist who know the craft. You're going to take these Scrabble. I consider them Scrabble.
Are they
You're going to,
children?
Mr.
These
So,
people, are
you're
they
going to take
children?
these.
Are they not political
No,
prisoners?
I'm not going to
You
classify them
never
as
saw
such.
Bobby
But
Wine. I never
let
saw.
me
Hold on,
make my
give me a
point.
break. Give me a break. I'm gonna give you a day. Give me a break. I never saw Bobby Wine, who was an opposition, also came from the musicians from the ghetto. His life was transformed. I never saw him talking and saying these sort of things. He was always making the case for Ugandans, sitting down with international cable wire, keeping the conversations tolerant, civil. Even his driver was killed, was assassinated. He did not put his foot in his throat. As you people, your opposition, and these are people who have a political ambition. Tell me, how can we,
I'm surprised.
how can these
I'm
people,
completely baffled with your with this kinds of talking point from you
because
tonight.
you are in
No,
denial, you
no,
cannot
Mr.
come
So
out with
we are talking two different issues.
you
The
changing the
leadership,
narrative. You are trying to
Mr. So,
change the
if you don't
narrative.
mind, the leadership of the CPP are intact. Those that are having the Scrabble, I'm not even
Those, those are
these are all Scrabble. These are all Scrabble.
something to okay. Let me take this call here because it's about Liberia. I don't want to. We are here to facilitate the conversation. Let me take this number here. Nathan Tai, good evening, sir. Welcome.
Good evening, Mr. So how you doing, sir?
Welcome. Thank you.
I can hear them in person.
This is ridiculous. You have these children here. They are not grown. They're wearing diapers. They don't want to go around state offices. Go ahead.
How you doing, Mr. So? So the problem, this is like a primary process here. These things happen. The political leaders of our party, they are quiet because the surrogates are speaking. And that's how it should be.
Political correctness. Here we go again, Mr. Neton here. Look, these people, Liberian, it only work in the Western. These people down there, they get better holla, better call out over one another. They're not gonna hold. I've said this over and over, and history kept demonstrating that. Go ahead, make a point.
Yes, to a point what you say is true. But what is also true is that the political system in Liberia, in Africa, is different than that here. This will, because of sometimes illiteracy or not knowing the topics, they don't address the topics on its merits, but in tactical personally. So I'm not surprised. Costa, who is insulting people around there today, he ran himself as representative. He did not get 2,000 votes in his district. Is it relevant?
And I'm not able to call in, but I'm saying it right now. Believe me. Look, we are not going to gamble that country. I'm saying that and I'm saying that. We will go in there. We are not going to gamble. These people who are not putting their acts together and they are so much lot on hand. And you want to come here, you want to have a political, and they want to do this. Look, the time to dress that mommy water is over. If you can, if you look, if you want to be a leader, You have to be responsible. Tolerance. Come
Okay,
on.
so those that are there now, are they any responsible? Jefferson Koji, is he any responsible?
Okay, so we're trying to go back, trying to read against, we're trying to read against on it. So is that how you're going to want us to live? Because the other group are there, they are not responsible. You want to bring another irresponsible group of people.
No.
So don't even mention that. Don't even mention that. I understand we have concerns. We have concern with what is happening. All right, Nathan, let's be fair. We have concern with what is happening. So if you want us to change course,
CDC, I get that. I understand that, but they are no more responsible.
As important to what?
CDC.
Well, because I'm saying it today, and that's a problem, because when it happens wrong, when somebody is speaking it, you're like, I don't care. CDC, WCD. I wish CDC hire my expertise. I would do much better than what I'm doing.
No, I can't label you as a bishop.
No, you say I simple. I don't know what's the meaning.
I sympathize with Mr. Something Brown too, because I'm a liberal. I can't even hide that.
Oh, you're a liberal.
The problem, well, it's not a secret. I'm a liberal. I can't even hide it. But with CDC in power, it cannot get any worse than this. No matter who comes out the CPT, it will be better than what it is today.
I'm not saying the indicator. There's no indicators as to whether it's going to be better.
It will be better because right now, there is like internal fight. In fact, it's a conflict.
Fight.
We will have a class of knowledge before we come on one page. And I believe one of these days is a Baka or coming to be the leader of the country. The period. Tennessee has no competition. Tennessee cannot
let me just say now.
Tear down people. That's how they are.
Omen Boyka, Joseph Boyka, who I really admire of his services to the country, but at this point in time, based on his record and his inability to take charge as a statement, it is quite surprising. And I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed. I'm wondering whether he able to conduct the affairs of that country, whether he even able to be able, whether he ever. But you're not even telling him. I wonder whether Joseph Boyka able to dismiss people who, when he's president, like it's in case of George Weah. George Weah cannot tell me.
Let me get in here.
He can't tell.
Can you hear me?
Joseph Boyka will be quadruple of that.
Yeah, I agree with that, and that's one of the problems I got with Joseph Boyka. Joseph Boyka cannot even get his own boss Elizabeth to support his candidacy. Joseph Boyka.
Have you asked? Okay, before I go back to the Liberal, have you asked that question? Imagine Joe Biden seeking for presidency, and he serves on Barack Obama, and then Obama stays and washes his hands off. You saw the aggressiveness of Barack here going to battleground state, swing state. Why? Because he works with somebody that he confides in, that's somebody that he has trusted, that's somebody that was sitting with him in the situation room and makes informed a concrete sound decision to for the good of the American people. But you have Helen Johnson Sirleaf walks away for someone that serves him. So why I can't even ask that question? Let me go to PA with this other number. What is the answer? Hold on, let me go to the number. Let me bring in the Liberal. 267. Go ahead before I go back.
Okay.
267 number 5983.
Yeah. Alfonso, how you doing? This is.
We're listening.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me.
Do you have a monitor on there? Just lower it because we're getting the feedback.
I'm trying to turn my monitor down.
Oh, okay.
Alfonso, sometimes your analysis, sometimes it can be wrong. Definitely, it can be wrong. Liberians have not given power to Joseph Boyka to just sit there and do what other people are doing today. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf clearly did not support Joseph Boyka because she knows Boyka.
What?
She knows that if Boyka, hold on.
No, you need to tell us. It's not only me. I want to make sure. Tell us. You say Ellen Johnson is not.
Hold on, please. Mm-hmm. Joseph Boyka, he was not, or he have not been CRT in the Republic of Liberia. Look, if you see your leader behaving to you that way, Mr. So, it means a lot of things. Politically, in our setting,
we don't speak in riddles here. Tell us what is involved.
No, but you always put the woman down. You always.
I'm telling you what is concerning of my country. Joseph Boyka is unable to lead our country, and you don't want to hear it. You will hear it until the election comes to an end.
Hold on, Mr. So, you see your little brother. Messing up the country. We want
who my little brother?
We want our own people.
Who my little brother?
Who will come to a common sense.
Who my little brother?
Our country to take us from the poverty. If Mr. President, don't look in your face whether you pray or whether who you are. He will fire you when you're doing something. Ellen Johnson Sirleaf is straight of Omer Barkai. I'm not United Party member.
Look, I don't like this sort of conspiracy.
We are all enough.
You don't know anything. Don't make up here. I don't like people. You're not speaking anything with facts here. So
Why you mean I'm not speaking?
You're not speaking. You say Helen Johnson hate Boyka. Hate Boyka for what? What was the reason? What's the reason?
Listen. This is the reason why I said Ellen Johnson hates Boyka.
Why?
Number one. Let me just show you number one.
That's a strong word already. That's very strong.
Yeah, when President Weah took over, before President Weah took over, because Ellen Sirleaf saw President Weah that he will not ready to do well. He promised the Liberian people, I will protect the president. I will protect the president's image. I will protect the former president's children. I will protect the entire family of the president. If that was Joseph Boyka will not stay in front of the Liberian people, not be realistic here. Joseph Boyka will not stay in front of the Liberian people and say, I will protect my former president and I will do this. I will.
But the one you should have said.
As Joseph, okay, to that point, Joseph Boyka now, because you people speak.
That is the fact. That is the fact, Mr. So.
It's not fact. That's your opinion you're expressing.
The fact according to you.
That's your own fact. You are expressing your opinion. So don't tell me.
The old man will come. He's a leader. He will not come and tell Liberian people say Ellen never treated me good. Ellen treated me this way because I was going to deal with her. He's a sick man. He will not come out to say, hey, you as if you were president today, or if you are serving as Ellen Johnson Sirleaf vice president, you will never even come up and say it because I know the kind of a culture you and myself in.
No. I'm not. I'm in the 21st century. That's not culture. We're not gonna gamble our country. It's not. It's not about. This is a narrow mind. This is a narrow mind conversation you people have. We side. I don't want no side because all of the sides, as far as I'm concerned, they're not offer anything. They are all greedy. Joseph Boyka yet to tell us, like in the case of Tanzania, President Hassan ordered tell his own government.
Mr. So, you fighting for the owner to come on your
because he not.
No.
He said what? He needs to come. Your shield. You see, look, let me tell you. You're not. Let me tell you. Some of you are very dangerous for that country.
Not be realistic here, man. Not be.
Okay, to make a last point here. Let me go to something too. I'm not gonna. Nato, do you have anything to say?
Yeah,
because I like.
As much as I have problem with the Boyka policy, which they refuse to make clear, because President Boyka, he cannot get his president in the past to stand and raise his head and stubbornly that Helen does not support you. How can we support you when your boss does not support you?
Okay, and listen to me.
Yeah.
It happens right here in America. It happened right here with
okay, gentlemen, I gotta go back to my guest. Anything you can call back. I'm going back to my guest. Guys, you gotta call back. The Liberal.
Yes.
Okay, let me just bring you in here. Look, it's about a sovereign nation, and we have to be honest. But people try to be sympathetic, and that's the same thing that get us to be where they are, because they are so drowned into something they are unable to even ask one of their own why he or she wants to be this, and even if she or he doing it the wrong way, to even say, hey, I support you, I believe in your political ideology. But most of them don't even have a political ideology, causing and to follow somebody because they're going to be a long-term political dividend. They also follow suit and begin to make judgment. Look, it's a sovereign nation, whether we like it or not. Liberia is a sovereign nation, and we have gone through this before. Why can we even question the one that we support? Why can we do that? There were a lot of differences with Joe Biden and Barack Obama. Of course, we know that when it came to the war and other things, we know that. But that sort of separations and try to draw that fine line. Okay, America, once at a specific time, we want to be like America. But when it's to our disadvantage or when it doesn't favor us, then we say, oh, we want to blame it with it's an African talk. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, I'm a little bit surprised of the way the conversation tonight, to be honest with you, because I really don't understand your point of concern here tonight, because those who are having all of these issues from one point to another against each other, they are not seeking state power. They are supporters. They are surrogates. They are not seeking state power, number one. The second thing is, and these people,
What is the definition of state power? Is
well,
that
somebody, for
is that
example,
what president said?
Dr. Bakai, Ormo Cummings, those are people that wants to be standard bearer for CPP, and not Costa, not Henry, not Costa, and not Yeke Koluba. They are supporters of each of these political parties. So of course,
Coluba doesn't have a state. He doesn't own a state. He's in the front branch.
well, but well, it is not about them. So if they're having some sort of a disagreement, I call it. This is political season anyway. This is primary. What do you expect? Did we not see Kamala Harris attacking Joe Biden on a stage here? Consider Joe Biden to say that perhaps he was responsible for busing in the 70s.
Yeah,
so
but those people they are disciplined, they are tolerant.
I understand that. I understand.
I'm not going to miss my way. Our
I
politicians are
understand
not
that they're disciplined. They're disciplined, but let's take that from here and take it to Liberia. And so the people in Liberia are there having their own issue like any other country. What I want to take out of this here,
the issue.
Well, the issue, for example, what is happening in CPP about this document being altered and not people saying that's not true and what have you. Those are in-house.
So do you think this document in question, and I asked this question here literally the other day here. I asked, and I even did ask Mr. Cummings, what if there's any other document based on the April 20 or whatever document they put, or we are hearing that multiple, we don't even know. Nobody has surfaced, nobody has thrown it out here to say, oh, they are document number one, number two, and this is what we did. But the idea for us at this point in time to be having this sort of conversations about document not being fully or carefully crafted, and there was no consensus, people having apprehensions how document is being presented, then I'm wondering whether there's no secretariat with this whole thing here. So if you're the chairman of this whole thing, then the whole drum, the whole bucket is on your head. You will do business with the election commission. There's no technical meeting. Is that what they're telling us? And if that's what it's telling us,
apparently you haven't been.
If that's what they're telling us, then I can have a sleep. If they become, then there will be a chaos when they take state power.
Apparently, you have not been paying attention to CPP. The point here is it's a collaborating political party. They have technical teams, people who review documents and what have you. So whatever that is happening here, they have people that will be in charge. They have an investigative team already on ground that are investigating these.
So why the leadership? Why can't keep their mouth shut? if they get
Mr.
into
So,
it,
that has
nothing.
nothing.
They are
That has,
actually. You see, this
but
is
you
what I
cannot.
don't like. This
This
is
is what
what
I'm
I don't like
saying.
about y'all. Y'all don't want to be honest, and
No,
this is
Mr. So, it's not
bad.
about
They are
honesty.
not
This is
ordinary people. Yeka Koluba. I don't call names because these people call their name. They think that they are over. They are in the sky. Yeka Koluba. He's not an ordinary person. Yeka Koluba is an actor in the political discourse of Liberia. You brought Costa in. Costa is an actor. If I'm a leader, if I'm a okay, if you are a member of an institution, and these people came together, they are technical thing. I don't even know who is the spokesperson, even though they have their hair. But everyone, if they are not even listening to who they are here, and everyone thinks that he or she is the loudest voice, that's concerning. Let me go to this number here and I will bring
Mr.
you.
So, before you go to the number, because it looked like you want to park me here tonight and go with phone,
How about
then
you?
we can just you
Put
can
me
do
over
that.
somewhere like a garage.
Yeah, you want to park me in the garage and go with phone conversation here tonight. That's fine, but I'm not going to let you do that. So I'm going to interject
I
here
will
from
never
time to
pass
time.
you. I will give you the opportunity. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So the point here, Mr. So, is this: the Costa, the Moluba, I mean, Yaka Koluba, those are members of the CPP community. They have the right to disagree. They have, and however way they want to display their disagreement, it's up to them. That has nothing to do with the leadership of CPP. This is what I want you to separate. Now, the CPP leadership themselves, they also know that these people are connected to their ability to lead. And so, yes, we all want them to come out and calm the ocean. That's okay. However, the process itself is there. The process is there to be carried out. So this is just for me. It's a political season. So these people are running a campaign, except in the wrong way, as far as I'm concerned. But that does
No,
not
it's not the wrong way. That's the right way.
that does not negate the fact that CPP is here to stay.
Yeah.
The main thing I want you to focus on is how CPP going to govern. Not with people here in fighting, and then you say because the
How are they going to
supporters
go? How are they
because
going
the
to go?
supporters of CPP are having an infighting. Therefore, that translates to how CPP going to govern. Then I think that's wrong.
How they going to govern? That's why we don't see the child not born here. They start eating pakana. You're talking about how we must worry. Let me take these numbers here quickly here. Let me move the number. Let me go to right here to something prompted my own senior brother here. They are the people that are feeling the heat. Good morning. Tommy, are you there? Oh, let me see. Yeah. Good morning. 763 number. Hold on one second. Let me go to the library. Yeah, good morning. Go ahead.
Yes, I've been monitoring you all for about 30 minutes now. And everybody's trying to make a point, but what I want to understand here is when you see this thing going on like that, like exactly what the progressive liberal saying, this is surrogate. This is not a government yet. If it is a government, Baker will take decision, firm decision. Whatever decision that he takes now, people can go on their own. So you will have discrimination going on in political, activity, because everybody that you see talking, they are talking because they get their own supporter. And those people they get as a supporter, they want to talk and want to prove that they are doing better. But I think the best thing they are doing, or the president waiting for is Ambassador Boaka, is to just remain mute and look at it. Because when it comes to it, the decision making, it's better to listen, be slow to talk, and when you talk, it makes sense. Because there are a lot of things that if you come out or to say something that will not be good, then of course it will inflame the whole thing. But I can tell you, come 2023, this people will be out of office. Because even though you said that, maybe the people are not responsible and things, but those are things that happen. Politics is just sometimes people have to say things, and it's good that for now, we are getting to know those people who are the surrogate that sort of constitution. We can get them out of it and we can move on.
Okay.
They are not bound to be together. They're not bound to be together. They are doing their own thing. But if you want to form a united front, you should be honest to everything that you put on that. In America, the country are living in a Liberian or Africa, people are greedy. You don't have to be a present-day nation for people to respect you. No. And make the reference to Alexander Collins. I will always expect you the money like that. He doesn't have to be a president. Even if he go as a president, he can still be a heavyweight in this country. But I think he's so thirsty for power that he's doing things that are not right. But come 2023, we'll know who we do. Thank you so much. And the progressive, liberal progressive, there are something brand new. I like the way you can talk. You are self-confident, and that's what we're going to do. We will.
Dr. Bwaka. That's Joseph Bwaka, man. I know him, bro. That's a Joseph Bwaka. So he find coalition here well now with the liberal. Oh my goodness. Okay, let me go to this number from Minnesota here. 763 number 4884. Good evening, caller.
Hi, Mr. Phil. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you doing? Welcome. Let me put a number here. So
my name is McDonough from the Galaxy. Mr. Ben for total true. We're not talking much. Back on the last tonight, I'm monitoring him tonight when he considers those of the issues there. I'll make him to be home again. What is the issue here, sir? What is the issue here?
Yeah.
About what's happening between Lega Kolba and Costa. You know, I don't know. Costa, Lega said those things because Costa said, I didn't want to show it here. The mayor resigned from the COP more than 10 times. He talked about someone having medical prayer and stuff. I didn't want to make Lega Kolba see he didn't want to say. You know, I don't think people want to be critical to those things saying. For a mob is not a Bible. When you say it may be true, it may be lie. So he he has the right to give his view. Okay? But I want to believe personally, Costa have been very critical of the George Weah government. If they are going to get money from that government, they're going to put it all over the place. They're going to expose it all over. You don't say they can show anything to show against this guy money. Back to the CPP. The CPP, we knew this was going to happen. The first Australia for the CPP, what is your done? No gas. Everybody go as independent candidates. They will have an agreement when they go. Who don't account? Because they will obviously go several rounds. There'll be several rounds. Among the four of them, who don't account? Some of the judges were. The also what I'm from, there'll be no laws. All that for the own for your own for. So we are in the first place. I'm going to put it down. Who don't have the net now? That can the highest to be willing to be the next wrong with Joshua. You're all right. All of us be a person and go in Joshua.
Okay, we're getting a lot of calls here. Let me see what I can.
There will be no nurse. Okay, that was suggestion, sir. I'm going to be on the show tonight.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, we accommodate the views and opinions expressed. However, to whatever expressed here does not in any way represent the management and staff of the Liberia Public Radio. Folks, let's keep it very brief, succinct, because we want everybody's voices to be heard. Let me go to 612 number 0274. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello, Mr. Joe. My name is Elvis. I'm calling from Minnesota.
Welcome, buddy.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, like the whole conversation is about, you know, the surrogates or the so-called mouthpieces for the CPP. You know, those people are usually what we call useful idiots. You know, they will play the dirty games while the politicians and people would talk about it. Like somebody said, politics is about narrative. So whatever the narrative is, that's what people pay attention to. So what happened with Donald Trump in this country? CDC is actually at a disadvantage right now because they're being too quiet. So if the narrative is not in your favor, like they say, there's no bad PR. Any PR is good PR. So if people are talking about you, the country gravitate to you and want to hear what's going on outside. Just when somebody make it proud, everybody will stay and see what's going on. The attention is on them. So Costa talking, Koluba talking, any kind of news that coming from CPP is good news for them because the narrative has shifted to their end. So I think, Mr. To, the best thing for you to do is to try to get Mr. Boyka on the show. And as a person who wants to inform the public, you have to get him to lay out his policies. That's the one thing that people keep letting that old man get away with because he does have a good chance of being our next president. We can't make that same mistake of not seeing somebody like giving us concrete policy where we can know what the policies are and what kind of foundation we want to build our country on. So if you do get the opportunity to get him on the show, that's the one thing that I will be expecting to see you giving him tough policy questions that he will be able to lay out his vision because it's a high chance that he could be the next. And we can say like what George Weah did, ran around, ran behind, ran from giving his policies to the country, and now we're in the mess we're in. So thank you very much for letting me come on.
Okay, thank you so much, guys. Let's keep it brief here. There are a lot of people here. Okay, so let me go to is that an oil field veteran general, veteran journalist? Cummings is joining us right here. Gerald.
Yep. Mr. So, how are you today?
Well, I'm okay by virtue of this breath is in me, but I'm just unhappy with the political discourse and talking point and this sort of political correctness. They are surrogate, they are nobody. Of course they are. These people, they are major actors. Well, let me hear from you. What you observe this process here? These people, do they have that tolerance to cement that political block at the end of the day? And would that go?
Well, let's look at it this way, right? From the embryo stages, when prior to the nomenclature, the CPP, you will notice that the Costa, the Yeke Koluba, the Daros Delon, they were riding on the I would say the ignorance of the people, propounding stories that when you check some of the stories, they were not arguing the level of believability, accuracy, objectivity was lacking. Some of the stories were mere gossip that they couldn't substantiate their claims. So they managed to play on the intelligence of the people, and they were all in the local media and the social media. So I don't see their talk reducing to something that will yield a positive result come 2023. Because come what may, right after the CPP convention, the real game of politics starts. That's when people want to look at policy. That's when we say in public relations, we tell people on a need to know basis, like the young man who left the line said.
Right.
Worker need to tell us, give us a vivid picture of your domestic and your international
foreign policies. Yes, agenda.
In the case of Madame Sali, her international policy was playing hard. The domestic policy has some lapses in there. Okay? So we don't want a free ride. Most of the guys, I listen to them, they talk a lot, and these are people who were just on the fence yesterday.
Okay, do me a favor. You want to stick with me a little bit, Jared? Do you have the time?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm available. I'm just sitting down home.
Okay.
Listening to Mr. So.
Okay, so just hold on to right there. I wish you come via video set. It's going to make it much easier. But just hold on there. Let me go to these other folks here and get in there. Probably that will give you a more argument into your talking point. Let's go to 763 number tag 0738. Caller, good evening. What's your name? Where are you calling from? 7630738. Are you there?
Yes. Hello, can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Good evening. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Oh, this is Ben calling from Minnesota. How are you?
Hey, Ben. What's up, my man? Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. So, like I've always said, this CPP is going to be very hard to hold because if they play straight, Mr. Cummings is going to win. So they're not going to play straight, and that is why these guys are bringing all of the that have been altered. If a document is altered, when you bring the one that is altered and and the original and compare them? Don't you? Is that it? Is that what people do? But these guys are just throwing smoke screens all over the place as a result to destroy the city. The city is not going to hold. And at the final analysis, what is going to happen in Liberia is that time for election, the people are going to be tired of the mess. They're going to sit home, and the voter turnout will be so low, and it's going to benefit the CDC. The CDC, somebody said they're not talking yet. I mean, right now, they got too many problems they did themselves. So they don't
The
need
CDC said drowning too. They need rescue.
Right. So it's like right now they do not want to test anything. They say if it's not broken down, just leave it. So the CDC is just looking at us being able to just fight. I said the election will be a low turnout, and if it's a low turnout, the CDC will benefit from it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, 612 number to 9634. All right, the person gone. 515 number 4261. Are you there? 515.
Yeah, I'm here, sir. I'm here.
Okay, what's your name and where you calling from?
And my name is Bonnet Buffer. I'm calling from Des Moines, Iowa, sir.
Des Moines, Iowa, one of the critical states in the presidential race in this country. Okay, let's hear from Des Moines. Let's see what Des Moines can decide for Liberia as well.
Well, so you see, my confusion here is the opposition. I really wanted to agree with your previous speakers. I think they are destroying themselves. To win a sitting government is very difficult. Now, put it this way: Omen Boaka, he was part of the Salih government, and you and I live here in the United States. The report on that government when it comes to corruption was very, very bad. Salih herself did not support Omen Boaka, her vice president at the time, for the presidency. What makes you think she will do that now in the upcoming election? So what's going to happen with those people that are running around on Facebook who do not want the old man to retire peacefully over there and sit down, enjoy old age? They want to bring him back to politics. If he becomes the CPP candidate, the opposition research will be very bad on him. CDC will dig out things that the very Madam Salih, who he served as vice president, who did not support him, will concur with. At that point in time, is no coming back. You can't replace the candidate. Me, I'm telling them.
Helen Johnson Sirleaf is a very skillful politician. Who knows whether she, in that process, she will become like a Julie Hassan of Liberia to even give some classified information.
Exactly, Mr. So. She never supported him before. Don't you think, or don't they think that she will admit, she will say, well, during our time, they think they will, because they got a lot of auditing reports. You know, she audited her own government before. I listened to the Spoon Talk when they interviewed, the guy that was doing the lobby thing, and he was speaking that the league government they audited themselves, that more than 100 audit reports out there. She could simply admit to those errors. And whatever error she admit to, you cannot preclude it.
When you say audit, where is that report?
What you say?
You say she audited herself? Where is that report? Where can it be found?
You know Malu, the auditor that was there before.
Yeah, I know. The auditing John Malu. I know, but it was a controversial something that did not really. I'm not sure. It never.
There was an audit. Yeah, there was an audit. I wish you go by to the Spoon TV. You know that guy. Yeah, he was saying that they admitted to a lot of audits. Not everything they actually denied.
They didn't give him the chance. It wasn't really conclusive. So it was done. It was done, but I knew the government knew it was damaging. So that it kind of created a fiction, and that's how he kicked up. But make a point.
Yeah, my point, Mr. So, is it would be very easy to destroy Omen Boaka candidacy
than to destroy somebody who is a little bit neutral, like Cummings. Because all the old man got to do, because you know my fear is she never supported the man previously. So he had this animosity built in him, whatever it is. They are enemies for good now. What makes people think that she will come and support him? She will not keep quiet during the presidential election when he is the candidate. If she just go on and admit to some just few wrongdoing, they will attribute that to the old man. He cannot, you can't say I'm eating the lizard. I don't like the lizard. Everything he can't divorce himself from the administration he served.
All right. Thank you so much.
So I just say that it will be a second CDC. A CDC really know how to play their cards. Let them, they will win. Technically, I don't want to keep myself in line for long. You got but I'm just giving you my personal analysis that.
Oh yeah, people have the right to express
their people the CDC in the long run.
All right. Okay, Ty, you can stick this toy is not here. Ty, you want to hold on, that's fine until other course. Comments, are you there? Jara.
Alfonso?
Yeah. Are you hearing me?
Yes, sir. I'm hearing you.
Okay. It seems to me, and that we heard quite recently, one of the seasoned politicians of all time, Helen Johnson Sirleaf, very skillful, whether we like it or not. Some conversations been taking place, we're told, inside Liberia with some of these major political actors. Will we see the resurrections of Helen Johnson Sirleaf factoring in coming this 2023? And where precisely do you think she's going to play her card?
Well, I love the point that you raised this issue. Sometimes I go back to the situation where whether you print 1,000 copies of a leading story, the sale will be less, the return will be more. What am I alluding to? I think it was 2 or 3 years before the election, Madam Sirleaf kept saying it is time for a younger generation to take over. I was looking for the article. Reverend Booyah, the late Reverend Emmanuel Booyah, wrote a story November 12th of that year. That was 2 or 3 years before the election. He wrote a story about the November 12th and making reference to the number 12. I got the entire story he wrote, and I'll just kind of summarize what he said. And he quoted Madam Sirleaf in that article. She kept pointing to the younger generation to give a vivid picture of where she was going. You remember the groundbreaking ceremony of the Monocoman Highway?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. He pointed directly to that story that it was Madam Sirleaf's way of introducing President Weah, direct or indirectly, to the Liberian people that they have agreed to live as a team. The late Reverend Booyah did it. It was a front page and a center spread story. I remember vividly that was 3 or 2 years before the election. Now, let's go back to why sometimes we think the CPP will not hold. Remember during the 1997, prior to the 1997 election, the Gabriel Bacchus Matthew, the Amos Sawyer, the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, Tubanan people, Jew Mason, Harry Green, all these people were meeting at the Unity Conference Center for the Alliance of Political Parties.
Mm-hmm.
You remember very well that when it was time for the convention, Dr. Watterson and others were playing something against the late Gabriel Bacchus Matthew. They alleged, and I'll quote the former Bassa governor, I remember very well, said on state TV that if this alliance does not hold, we will hold you people responsible. 2 nights after that conversation, that statement, Bacchus Matthew and others said that Charles Taylor sent a vehicle with a license plate PR5 that took a bag full of US dollar that was dishing it around, that led to the Alliance of Political Parties not holding. But then how would Charles Taylor dish money? Then Madam Sirleaf was at James Springs Field when Dr. Clayton
Dr. Watterson rather, Cletus was named. I'm getting the names. What is it, Dr. Watterson?
Cletus Watterson.
Cletus Watterson, right? Because they got Cletus here, who was then former information minister. But so I'm right. Dr. Cletus Watterson became the hair or the face of the alliance. So the question is, who was then actually sending money? Madam Sally was at James Springfield when Dr. Watterson was named as
of
the alliance of political party. Then in few months we noticed that Bacchus Matthew accepted a position to be the public relations officer for OTC. Today, Mr. Yue is claiming that a document was altered. Let me tell you this, Mr. So. I remember the late Mary Lauren Brannell, the late James Kelly. When they were sitting on that commission, I was working for Reverend Paul Franklin.
Oh, you're talking about Senator Kelly? He's still alive, man. Okay, here to know.
He's still alive?
Senator Kelly? Yeah, James Kelly still alive.
Senator Kelly, the former commissioner of Gardens, right? Man, I've been away for a while, but I still remember some of the story. I tell you, okay.
But let's cut it short here. Let's get to the boiling. Let's get to the boiling.
What you're saying, this is I guess phase one. I explained phase two had to do with another story about a document being altered. And at that National Elections Commission, if you carry a photocopy, they will not take it.
Election Commission does not take it. They take original. They don't take. Right. They don't take it. Okay, that's what I want us to dwell on here a little bit. And this is where it's troubling, because these are if group of people coming together to put an idea together. It becomes a binding agreement. And eventually this document will be submitted to NRC, that's the National Election Commission, because it has to be record as well. And that's the original. So if it is alleged now that document is being altered, is being tampered with, alterations, whatever term they can use to satisfy the talking point. So the question now is, these are four group of people put together. All right, and we can say Mr. Costa is a factor within the CPP or the collaboration. Even though he says a floor member, but I use also a member of a political party that is accredited to this whole CPP. And he's coming out to say this and saying it, putting it out there. All right. So how was this information obtained? Why is the CPP executive, why everybody are so muted? They are quiet and nobody is saying anything. We are going into what? How many hours now? Maybe 24 hours.
Yeah.
We were hearing that going to be a press briefing. Nyomli Kanga, who is the head of the CPP, is not speaking to that effect as to whether indeed it was altered, but that his statement also corroborates with what Benani Yuri said, even though we yet to know who did that, when it was done, how it was done. So it brings into question this whole collaboration, how it came to place, because they must have a secretariat. So does that mean if you're a chairperson of this collaboration, all of the documents in your possession, you the only man or you the only woman entitled to have those documents? So is that a chairman, the one that delivered this document, or is it a secretariat? How was this done? Someone needs to come out to provide a full and comprehensive clarification to this. And we are entitled to know this information because these people are contesting for state power.
Yes, the truth that most people need to know, and I know the program is being recorded, right?
Wow.
That's the truth that people need to know. Senator Yomli Kanga Lawrence was the public relations officer to Lpr-Tv, meaning she has media connection, okay? And she knows what we talk, what is believability, accuracy. If you say a document was altered since last month, you've been going through an investigation as a former media practitioner, okay, public relations officer. you know that that document, if you alter the document, it has the propensity to derail the process. You can make copy available in any newspaper. I say this to say, Senator Kanga, Lawrence, and myself worked with the late Harry Reid. There was a document, an investigation done by a former FBI officer. Senator Youngly, Lawrence Kanga, and myself were the only people that were privileged to that document. Okay? And up to not, Snow had a copy of that document because I wanted to interview him, and all the alleged culprits that were involved, Snow saw a copy of the document. DC saw a copy of the document. People in the media who were close to me saw a copy of the document. Okay? As another situation, if Mr. Costa believes that he is a prolific journalist or a talk show host, when you say something, you must have something to substantiate. Journalists do not disclose their source, right?
Right.
The sources. I was the journalist who broke the story between the late Chairman Judith Bryant, Dr. Dan, and the Saudi priest $5 million with the late Harry Reid, Mother Mary Lorraine, and Dr. Hassan Conte. I had that document. People offered to give me $9,800 if I ran with the story. I said, I need to go to my office and sit down. I was sitting in the office with my former boss. And we look at the story and say, Gerald, this story can break you or make you. So take your own.
So, to call Mara Shaw
here,
here, is he a conspiracy being projected here?
If they got a document that says it was altered, up to current, they can produce a copy, even if you're going to go do a center spread. And that's the place I'm challenging this. So it tells you that these people that I know very well, they play in the media, they cannot.
Another sticker question here is, so how these people, they don't have copies, or it was just done and just given only to the chairperson? Is that it? So they are also telling us they are doing the same thing with maybe CDC is doing with endless investigation, because this has the propensity to also bring chaos within the same very opposition, even though the chaos is there, that we cannot deny, because the chairperson or this investigation, we yet to know, it was a red flag initially by Benin Ayure, alleging that it was done. Critical words were used in his speech that almost like pointing out, and there were some facts or something to display. We haven't seen that. This is the second phase. So what does that suggest? What does that tell us about these people that also want to be alternative? Who is playing this dirty game here? Who is the chief conspirator in this whole thing here?
The guys, look, I as an old player around, I can read between the lines. The writing is on the wall. Okay? I broke a story with the late Dr. Nathaniel Richardson. And some of the names you calling were the same people that were forcing me to either apologize or be fired. And you know, after listening to all these stories, I reached a point, I reached a conclusion now that I want to take on some of their media practitioners who say they are journalists and talk show hosts. Because you see, if the ANC is challenging you and saying, let's go to an investigation, let's conduct a full investigation, the National Elections Commission send you back to do an in-house investigation, and you have nothing to substantiate their claim, I can just tell you free of charge is that some people who are claiming that a document being altered or they noise all over the place, they're playing a ball game for CDC. I can tell you free of charge. Off or on the record, I can tell you free of charge. Because we've seen a replica of 1997. We still see a replica of the same ball game being played. If the ANC want to take issue with the ALP and the LP, then they need to stand up.
You know, people are now.
We're going to take out the tax.
Yeah, and apparently people are forgetful, and some of these people thought they were in their young ages yet. We saw this happening with Samuel Doe, Jabaro Kalan, to Gabriel Bolet, and all of these people here. So there is a pattern here of the histories of our opposition forming an alliance. It has never, for whatever reason, it has never survived. So, and we begin to see indicators is heading in that direction, and it is important that we keep this conversation, because you know what, these people up there,
Mr. So, it can hold, looking at the dynamics now, right?
Mm.
It can hold provided if they will. I hope you get a copy of the framework. I have a copy.
I have one here. I have one here.
Okay.
But from what I'm
read
hearing now, I have gone through this here, and I was privileged to talk to Mr. Cummings here, and I asked their question here: is there any other document besides this document? And when you put that question to them, if you listen to some of their supporters, they will talk about multiple documents. So I don't know which is which, but the one that was released, the one that was published, I believe April 20th edition framework, whether it was modified and other things were injected. If that is the case, is that they are the only people who are the custodians of that? That is a document that is serving as a driving force for the full political parties potentially seeking for national office. So don't you think it should be in circulation that people should have access to it to know exactly if there was anything altered, or for people us to know exactly the details in that?
Sitting down to craft that document. So if there's any legal ramification to that document being altered, right? Look, there's so many stories that I am familiar with, and seeing this kind of writing on the wall, I can say the CDC would jubilate and say there's tension in the camp because the CDC already having some domestic problems. So I can say
no CDC on to they say to the on life support. CDC said to on life support. It's clear cut. But this is why people don't want to hear comments. Look, I know Liberian people, the electorates. Yes, couple of was that yesterday during the weekend? There were other young people that called here. Somebody called from Bikiana, other people called from other places. You talk to people, we talk to people. And the downsides of this, we're talking is okay, happening is primary. These people, they're not doing this, that. Now, people are quiet, they are muted, they are listening, especially the voters, the direct voters on the ground. In as much as bad it is, and things not moving as it should be, and the government itself too slacking, not coming forward with information, a lot of things, plenty of things going on at the same time. However, Liberians are very critical in making decisions because you who want to present yourself as an alternative, if they begin to have apprehensions about your behavior, your attitude, your credibility, your lack of political tolerance, acting like a little babies around here, and you think we just want to throw you into presidency or to the Senate or to be a rep, you will be disappointed greatly because at the end of the day, something can trigger and people will say, you know what, we want to go this way. So they need to start walking the fine line. They need to start having the authentic conversation and not acting like little babies here. It's a big power struggle here. Why? Because somebody somewhere is trying to get within the proximity of some of these big people so that they're going to be influential. They're going to be a decision maker at the end of the day.
You said it all, big brother. The reality here is this. It's so simple. People need to start checkmating the authenticity of some of these allegations. Okay? Maybe this is the reason why some of the people decided that they appear to certain talk show and don't appear to certain program because they know that they were bothered with some facts. You can't come in the studio with me and bring those kind of fallacy and you walk free. No way.
It's crazy. These people here, yeah, exactly. These people created CDC. They created CDC. They were blowing the trumpet of CDC. They were wearing the garment of CDC. They hang out with George Weah. They did everything. Now today, for whatever reasons yet unknown, and they have not explained that, they have not answered all of the details questions with respect of their involvement and to be even remorseful to the Liberian people, they're just tearing it up.
Biblical humans. These are the modern day biblical humans. You see the narrative that is playing. If you have a vibrant media, independent media institution, look, this narrative cannot hold water. You know why? Because when you have a local radio station and a newspaper in the country that can checkmate some of these people, they will not make noise. Notice, watch this. belong to the Senate by the same kind of charade.
Oh yeah, nobody asking you when you go
Okay.
talk.
Nobody
When you
asks
talk,
questions. When
people
some
say
of
there
us
was
were
something.
saying that people, their friends in the diaspora were jumping
Dela is there
inside,
for
and I
nine.
said to them,
Dela is there for
you
9 years.
ain't
You think you're
paying
going to say
attention.
anything? Let me go to Massachusetts. I will soon be wrapping all here quickly here. Okay, so let's bring in our senior contributor, Mr. Jackson, is on the line from the liberal state of Massachusetts, based it right here. Mr. Jackson, good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm good, but I'm not happy because Republic of Liberia is not being treated fairly, and our people are not willing to call out these people. They begin to shelter them, they shielding them against because there is a long-term political dividend. They want to be in charge. They want to get the ears of whoever going to be elected. They have gone all over the places. They're all over. They align with this party, this party. That's why they can even structure the institution all over the place, from CDC to WED, from WED to UPP, from UPP to it's just crazy. But I'm running out of time here. Go ahead, Mr. Jackson.
Yes. It's unfortunate, I just wanted to add my voice, to the young man, who was just giving me analysis. He's saying some good things. And I'm trying to draw, my attention to one or two things, within this one alteration of document. And I wanted to sum it up in two ways. That is one, lack of leadership within the CPP, as in and the full, leaders within the CPP. The other one is if we see that the document is altered, then it means that the victory that all of them celebrating is illegitimate. And that makes me to come to the conclusion of when did they realize that
it was altered?
That's my concern.
Yeah, it was altered. And who did that?
Outside in terms of leadership. Now, if we say we come together, let me just give you, a scenario I say from NPR, LPR. Our aim is to make sure we want to make ourselves, number one. Do we have to come up, to the public to say, well, so in our article in corporation and drink go well, can we sit down and talk about it? Rather, we sit down and we make it an issue and it becomes a public, embarrass. That everybody and you understand that you see the surrogates of these people, some of them going over the air, defaming or and verifying, the leaders. So what do you expect?
And then people saying, that they have to do that. Seriously?
Yes. Okay. And the reason I have question with the leadership is, if you look at the URI, the comics, the Nyomble, and and Omen Boyka, who is the oldest. For my leadership in my family, I take responsibility when something happens. I call everybody together and say, look, this is, I think we can solve it. Can we? I want your suggestion. Instead of it spilling out into the public. I've not seen Mr. Boyka display leadership to that level to me. And you understand? And on your show, one time I told you that now that CPP has been formed is going on gradually, there will be a slippery, slope to come. I'm saying that leader women are not that much good, but people use them. And you understand? If they want to muddy the water, they can easily use women. So the Bible is a replica of some of the things that happen. The moment you put woman there, somebody will want to use that, to get things done. Look at Liberty Party. That is still from Liberty Party now to CPP. Yesterday, we cannot understand why we say Liberty Party that were author, then CPP author. Now, it normally knows very well. She should have been able to say, let us four us come together. Why we don't understand, we can come together. Up to this day, nobody can tell you what actually of the provision within the CPP framework that is author. And you understand? So it becomes public something that everybody making a suggestion. As a result, if you wake up, and Mr. Costa will have something to say. You listen to, to Spoon, they have something to say. It's the duty of the full leaders if they want to come together to squash it, rather than having here something.
How many hours now today? Okay, well, guys, yeah, how many hours now? Time has caught up with me here, but gentlemen, this is it. We must be concerned. This is no longer about CPP. Whether I'm within or out is about Liberia. Why? Because these people are the one, they are seeking for state power. So if they can put themselves, they can have an organized structure that if anything goes wrong, no one there can exercise a sense of responsibility, maturity, and core. Why you think people, the Queen or civil men say round table conversation or conference?
Yeah.
The conference, you sit around the table and have this sort of discussion.
Mr. Ure need to make himself available again to speak to the Liberian people in the diaspora.
I've texted him. I've called him. The last time I interviewed him was 2017 during the presidency. I've contacted him. I spoke with Madam Nyomblit, and she told Senator Kanga, and she said there was a lot going on, and she was not going to speak to the press. We have reached out to Boyka on the comments. What?
They can come on NPR just to get some clarification. Can we do that, please?
That's what I'm saying. I say I reached out to all of those folks, and I know Senator. The last time I talked to Senator Kangat, I said there was a lot going on when things settle down. So I'm not sure the dust is still the blaze is still on. So, but again, we are open to them. But my own concern is this is now out of the hands of the CPP. When it was in their hands, it was the time they were putting this document in place. And that's why when you put in document in play, it is carefully to review. You take your copy, I take my copy, we review it, we critique it, you bring it. But I think one of the problem here is coming into a collaboration and bringing in their baggages from their political parties. And the thing is going to be incorporated. Because when you emerge, when you collaborating, you become a whole. You're no longer a subset of that again. I don't want to go into mathematics here this evening, but they do it horribly. They do it like as if the war is coming to an end. ANC did not understand the political philosophy of the Unity Party. Unity Party, on the other hand, does not know what ALP to represent. They do not know their political demographic. They brought them into them to make a big hole with the sole purpose to defeat, which is okay. But in a real war, real time setting, when you having this sort of conversation, you empty all on the table. You don't leave one of the suitcases that get a baggage that needs to be bleached. You don't leave it at home, and then you come here and you bring the white suitcase and you leave the brown suitcase or the brown cow behind. Unity Party, ANC, ALP, all of those people, they had a brown and a black cow. They left them the dye skin, and they brought in the transparent one with the hope that people are going to see it. Now it is catching them with them.
You're running out of time, but let's take the component, the argument that the ANC put up. ANC say, look, if you say this happened, show proof to substantiate your claim.
Nobody wanted to show proof. Nobody wanted to talk.
Maybe NPR need to mount more pressure on the National Elections Commission. We did it before.
I have to call. I think maybe I have to call the NEC, but there are a lot of things involved. Mr. Flomo, who is the public relations, but they can't do that. These people, we can't babysit them. These people want to hold state power. And that's why we need to also checkmate them as well. Just how when the ruling establishment does it wrong, we look at them. We need to look in the toenails of these people if there's any fungus, so we can get that medication so that it can be all right. Gentlemen, time has catch up with us here this event. We hope to have this conversation. We'll continue to reach out to them. Look, government, opposition, no one should have an easy pass. But our Liberian people, we are so quick to conclude, to make a case, to come to a conclusion. That your political sentiment. Okay, because I don't like this person here, so anything about that person, you don't even want to check, you don't want to ask one of your own questions. Then when they get there tomorrow, oh, I don't expect I don't really. We are not going to gamble.
I hope you remember the 7. I hope you remember the 7.
Of course, certainly.
Understand that when this thing, as soon as the convention of the CPP and you will see some drivers going right back to CDC.
There is a frame document that's specified that goes into detail the exact process, how things going to work. So what is the big deal? Why can't we know about this here? You put it out there so we'll see it. But few people, few hands, invincible hands have access to this document, and they present a narrative, create a conspiracy theory, creating the drama, give you a headache, buying painkiller all day because we want to see the good things to happen to our country. And at the end of that's exactly what they are doing. Now, these people, we don't even give them the authority yet. That's how somebody going to alter the constitutions of that country overnight, and the next thing we're going to hear a state of emergency. This person going to stay there for a lifetime, or militarize the country because of whatever security reason. And that's what people want to. That's what people want to try.
Up the mountain, and then we'll put some oil inside. Just say your email.
This is ridiculous. Gerald, this is not funny. These people is
Senator Youngly to appear for.
I will call her Ellen. I will call her Ellen. I will call her.
Then, and if they can't come, you just send the email address up the mountain, and we'll put some oil inside. That's all.
Yeah. Hold on.
What you see coming in your email address, you contact check and read. I know you do a lot of investigation.
These people are trying to. They're trying to. They want an easy ride. Look, there's no shortcut in this whole thing here. The rules, when you guys put the rules together, you see, you know what? It says sometimes their own creation catching with them too, because they were doing it on a cloud. People were then saying what they were doing. There are people that are asking questions. Nobody wanted to know. That's why there is a short-term and long-term goal. Everything can be in black and white, and there must be a contingency plan. Anything that you do. Why do you think these people, when you go here, they ask for your social security, they ask for everything, they put it down. So it doesn't matter when I move to North Dakota to Gerald there. As soon as I call my name, everything it pops out.
Okay.
But they are hurry. They are overnight doing things.
As long as you have Manjwa in a room, Joseph Branca got another convention to go to. As long as Manjwa,
oh man,
you will not have a UP convention.
I think I got a. Gerald, I think I got a recommendation. Can you help me for us to drive this force? I want to make a recommendation here. Maybe I think probably that's what I want. Maybe we need to contact. We need to contact Jeff Bessel. I think we need to contact Jeff Bessel and Port Liberia, because these people, they do not have no good heart for Liberia. Give Liberia to Jeff Bessel and his new wife. He forgot about Amazon. Is that what's the name again? That airspace something, green something, or blue blues something, and give it.
No, Alfonso, what we need to do is, that's what I said one time to one of the veteran journalists. I said, this profession is a noble profession. If we sit down,
because when people start fingering, papers and documents, as we're hearing it, what becomes of the fate of our mothers, our sisters, and our nieces? Can you imagine if the paper is on? I don't know who does that, and that's what they are claiming to be. They all sat down around the table. We were not there. I was in there. You was in there. So all their fingers were on the document. But one is coming out now that somebody is doing something, and yet we yet to have these people, and they are still quiet. And then something told, and others they are telling us, "Oh, it happened all over the place, and this and that." And these people, they are not something. Gentlemen, have a pleasant evening.
Thank you.
Okay, well, folks, that's how we're going to end this evening here. I'm Alfonso Z, and so of the Liberia Public Radio 10 Lpr-Tv right here. Look, for us, we are not in the business of entertainment. This is not, we're not in the business of entertainment, strictly for news purposes. And that's what we do, not propaganda. We're not a mouthpiece for anybody. We are not for, we are not against. And this is why we do not sanction voices. If you tweet, you call, whatever you say it to represent you. It no way represent the management and staff of the Liberia Public Radio. But we need to do ourselves a good favor. You can support whoever you want to support. That is okay. That's your political choice. But for the good of the country, for the good of Liberia, these people, they must be clean, they must be honest, and they must have our country at heart. This sort of little political gaming that they are doing. That's what happens when you get state power. Those things cross-pollinate. They go straighter because you started here, we don't talk. So you go tomorrow. That's how you're going to start making those dubious concessions. Then we come back to base again and start crying. Until then, folks, have a pleasant evening. Send your comments, your tweets, your suggestions as to how we can enhance this broadcasting, and tell some of your political leaders. Some of them, they see our phone number, they don't want to pick it up. Or even when we talk to them, they have other people that they talk to, and they say, oh, don't go there. You go there, they want to destroy you. He's not one of us. He's not one of us. And this is what happened. But I can tell you, we will not sleep. We will not get tired. As long as I have you Tylenol, ibuprofen, painkillers in this pharmacy, believe me or not, we will take it and we will talk. And we will talk. We will not be judgmental. We will make it proportionate, give you the opportunity to hear directly. But what we will not do, we will ask all of the questions needed so that you come clean before the people of Liberia. Until then, folks, have a pleasant evening.
It's the time to come together. Keep Liberia safe forever. So open up your heart and let the unity begin. Love is all we need to make it stand. Let's cultivate one another. Learn to live together as brothers and sisters.